What is going on, Ben Nation? You might be asking yourself, hey, what just happened? Let's get into it. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. Now, if you like this content, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell to be notified of future content, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure, by the way, that you tune in today because we're going to be having another Twitter Spaces, and we'll be talking about a lot of this stuff that's been going on. So, that being said, yesterday was a court hearing with Ben, and these were emergency hearings, by the way, because there's a lot of weirdness that goes on with somebody who's trying to take your company from you. So, when that happens, you have to file these immediate things to try to stop the process or to try to get clarity on the process. And most of that got dismissed yesterday. So that, of course, led to Ben going quiet as he deals with whatever it is that he's got to deal with. And of course, in the meantime, he did reach out, and people sometimes don't like it because, again, he rubs people the wrong way. Sometimes he says exactly what he's thinking, and that's to the detriment of you, who doesn't want to get your feelings hurt. And if that's the case, that's okay, because there are safe spaces for you on every college camp. You are important. Everybody else, however, who's still holding the bag, let's talk about what's going on. I told you guys what was going to happen. Now, I didn't want it to be true, but I told you that, and we've been talking about this for days now, that this is a descending wedge. The descending wedge tends to break to the downside, and we saw the break to the downside. Then we saw a few attempted buys to try to shore it back up, but we didn't see in the long term. And then we just had a couple of people. And look, if you're a whale because you got lucky, it doesn't mean you're a good investor. It just means you got lucky, right? But you still invest things based on getting lucky. So you're willing to take a loss. So, and that's fair, by the way. That's fair. That's fair. Everybody, look, crypto is a wealth transfer. So in this instance, if you came in and you lost money, somebody else gained money. And the people that tend to gain the money are the people that hold if a project is going to move and be successful and is building in the background, which this project is doing. So there's going to be a moment here where this thing is going to absolutely rip and annihilate and peel back faces, et cetera, et cetera. We're just not there yet. So if you're holding on to it and you're waiting for that moment, then it's just not here yet, but it's getting closer and closer and closer. And we're actually going to talk about that as well. So anyway, the price action moves to the downside. So now we have to figure out what is the next step. So we'll get rid of this because that's we're absolutely done with that. And then we'll talk about, what is the, what's the next move. And to be fair, I mean, it's all about fib retracement. So let's look at it in reverse. And we see here the wick over here. So we'll probably get a move back up into the 67 range. And then we'll get a move into 71. And there will be a recovery. It could be a swift recovery, in fact, because there are pieces of information that are coming out that are very quickly potentially going to change it. Now, look, when we lost that zero, you knew this was inevitable and that this was going to happen. This happened even to things like Pepe and stuff that had really fantastic runs. So now we're looking for a recovery and a reversal of direction in the overall. But when we zoom out here, we're still in a decent position. Let's go look at this. There's still about $1 million in liquidity sitting here and a $6 million market cap. So, look, this could run to 60 million market cap just based on some good information over a couple days, and you're 10x from where you are right now. Are you down 10x? If you are, then that gets you back to they get you back into a good position. All of the pieces that were in place previously that we thought were going to be just are not. So now there's some work to do, and who's going to do that work? Well, this is a statement that was made from Cassie, and it says, hey, everyone, we had our second court date today. It was a warrant hearing, which is typically 30 minutes. Ours in total was 8 hours. We weren't able to present all our evidence. It's a complex case, and we didn't have enough time. The judge refused to extend the hearing beyond 3 p.m. and ended up dismissing the case because they said the car was a company asset. That's what this was all about. It wasn't. The title was in Ben's name, so that's going to have to be litigated. This is just a warrant hearing. So we had a great team. So this isn't a loss. Having worked in the legal industry, the legal system can be very inconsistent. We're going to exhaust our options. We won't give up that easy. So this was basically, this was a warrant hearing for getting the Lambo back on an emergency basis, because now they're saying that the car was a company asset, but it was in Ben Armstrong's name. So to say that that is the case is not actually true. However, That's how it played out. So then you have this, letting you guys know we are speaking with a top crypto exchange for potentially replacing our BitGet listing. So now you have a big time exchange maybe stepping in here. Remember, Ben said he only wanted top 15, top 20 exchanges. So you might be seeing a big listing coming for Ben very soon. Now, why are you seeing that? Well, let's go over to this. Today marks a new day for BenCoin. This just happened a few hours ago, guys. Cassie has done an amazing job with Ben and will continue to focus on her role as CEO and really the brains and leader of the project direction. But today I am stepping back in and making BenCoin a big focus. So it's time. So get ready. And then finally, Austin is the sole reason BenFi was not completed correctly, and now we have to do an entire rebuild of the platform. And I'm going to preface this by saying Austin's a great guy, was very ambitious in his plans. I think we had a much simpler plan that just got built and became a little more robust than what we needed for the time. Cassie communicated over and over again what we wanted, and he instead told PaintSwap what he wanted. So the project was delayed a minimum 3 months due to Austin. So part of that is, and by the way, that's not a knock against Austin. I do want to preface this. That's not a knock against Austin. That's just to say that we were a little bit more ambitious, or Austin was a little bit more ambitious in his goals, because, we all considered this is going to be a long-term thing. And if you're here for the long term, that's perfect. We move, we do the process, we get it all out, we get it all working. Well, when he left, that kind of changed everything. So that caused a little bit of wrinkle in time, if you will. So now the question is, what happens going forward? Well, tune in today. You're going to see Ben Armstrong. He's going to do his thing. You're going to see a lot more focus on BenCoin. You're going to see a lot more of people saying, you know what, the dip, this is the buy opportunity. This is the reason that I got into crypto. This is what I'm looking for. And a lot of people are going to start getting into BenCoin. But you decide for yourself and do your own research on whether or not this is the token for you. You go figure this out, because, to be fair, like, this is not for everybody. Ben runs hot. Ben is an influencer. Ben hypes everything in this space. Ben is Ben. And if that's too much for you, that's okay. But it's not for a lot of people. And they're going to get into this token. They're going to get in here. And this thing is going to moon. This project is going to find some new footing very, very shortly. And it's going to be a fantastic run. And you'll either be a part of it or you won't. And that's good too. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys soon. This is not financial advice. My name is Blaze. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll talk to you again very, very soon.